So we look forward now to our final student. We'd like to invite young Liam Peters to the platform. Now he's covering the theme, what Bible examples illustrate the wisdom recorded at Proverbs 3:5, where it talks about their trusting in Jehovah. So we'd like to invite Liam to the platform. Thank you.
What Bible examples illustrate the wisdom recorded at Proverbs 3:5? Well, first let's read Proverbs 3:5. It says, "Trust in Jehovah with all your heart and do not lean upon your own understanding." So this scripture is about making decisions with Jehovah and not by yourself. Let's illustrate how we can trust in Jehovah rather than leaning upon our own thoughts. Think of a small child sitting in the back seat of a car with his parents in the front. Suddenly the family gets lost and they don't know where they are or where to go. How does an obedient, trusting child react? Does he shout directions from the back seat, telling his father which way to go? Does he question his parents' decisions and say that he knows best and they should do what he wants? No, he naturally trusts his parents to handle such matters, even though they are imperfect. In Jehovah we have a perfect Father. Should we not trust in him completely, especially when we face challenging situations? Let's now consider the Bible example of Hezekiah and how he trusted in Jehovah rather than his own ideas. The powerful Assyrian army had already seized a number of fortified cities of Judah, and Sennacherib had now set his eyes on Jerusalem. Hezekiah had no way to fight such a large army. What would Hezekiah do? Would he try to work out a solution for himself? Well, let's turn to 2 Kings 19 verse 19 to see what he did. And now, O Jehovah our God, save us, please, out of his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that you, O Jehovah, are God alone. Hezekiah acted in harmony with his prayer. On this occasion, he did not try to work out a solution that was out of harmony with Jehovah's will by seeking support from Egypt or neighboring nations. Rather than leaning upon his own understanding, Hezekiah trusted in Jehovah. What happened next? The Bible tells us that Jehovah's angel killed 185,000 of the enemy soldiers, and Hezekiah and his people were saved. We can say Hezekiah was a good example of trusting in Jehovah. But there are also warning examples in the Bible that illustrate the wisdom of Proverbs 3:5 by showing us what happens if we rely on our own understanding. One warning example was Solomon. For a long time Solomon rules in a wise way, and the people are happy, but Solomon marries many women from other countries who do not worship Jehovah. Finally, his wives get Solomon to worship other gods too. This makes Jehovah angry with Solomon. We can find this at 1 Kings 11, 9 and 11. And Jehovah came to be incensed at Solomon, because his heart had inclined away from Jehovah the God of Israel, the one appearing to him twice. And 11. Jehovah now said to Solomon, "For the reason that this has taken place with you, and you have not kept my covenant and my statutes that I laid in command upon you, I shall without fail rip the kingdom away from you, and I shall certainly give it to your servant." So Solomon started off trusting in Jehovah, but got led away and he followed his heart and his wrong understanding. Who would we rather be like, Hezekiah or Solomon? Hezekiah's example teaches us to follow the first part of Proverbs 3:5, to trust in Jehovah with all your heart. He did this and was saved by and blessed by Jehovah. Solomon's example teaches us to avoid doing what the last part of Proverbs 3:5 says, leaning upon our own understanding. As we have shown, Proverbs 3:5 can contrast trusting in Jehovah with leaning upon our own understanding, and proves that we cannot do both. To learn from these Bible examples, we must apply this wisdom and ask ourselves, on what do we lean or depend? To trust in Jehovah means to let His thinking guide our own. Let's always make decisions that please Jehovah and never lean upon our own understanding.